Well, I need to tell you that there is a silent pact among the elites of our planet to protect the state of Israel. The initiates, of course, they are leaders who have sworn loyalty to the mystery of Israel. In all high-level meetings, whether at the United Nations, the G7, the World Economic Forum, or at discrete summits that never appear in the newspapers, a single unwritten rule prevails. We need to protect the state of Israel. Regardless of country, party, or ideology, world leaders bow before an invisible obligation, a kind of obedience that is almost religious. But what exactly is being protected? Why is this piece of land, which is smaller than the state of Sergipe, such a focal point for politics, religion, and global occultism? Well, I need to tell you that there is a silent pact among the elites of our planet to protect the state of Israel. And maybe you've even heard about this before. But I'm absolutely sure not in the way I'm going to tell you here on this channel today. I'm Carol Capel, your favorite alien who also has pacts, of course, right? With the sect. And to understand this story about Israel, we need to go back in time. Like, we need to go way back in time. The most contested place in Jerusalem is a hill known as Mount Moriah, or in the present, a place known as the Temple Mount. According to tradition, it was there that Abraham sacrificed his son. It was there that Solomon built the first temple, and there that Herod erected the second. It was also there that, after the Roman destruction, something was sealed that should never have been forgotten. There's something that fell there, we know that. Everyone thinks it's a temple, but what fell there wasn't a temple, you know? It was a veil. What fell, everyone, was the space between worlds. At least that's what the ancient Kabbalistic texts say. And they say that this veil was thinner at that exact spot. So, according to the Zohar, which is the foundational book of Kabbalah, the Temple Mount is not just a sacred place, but actually an interdimensional axis, a kind of energy field that connects the heavens and the abysses. It's a place where the Shekinah, a divine presence, manifests. Or where she hides, isn't that right? And with the destruction of the temple, something was left behind. Like a capsule, like a seal, like a pre-Diluvian artifact buried even before the arrival of the Israelites. I'm talking about a piece of the first creation which is older than the biblical Genesis. Now, what world leaders know, and the public doesn't, is that the preservation of Israel has absolutely nothing to do with the Jewish people themselves, but rather with what is beneath them. In this case, it's literally and not figuratively. In the secret archives of the Vatican, there is an underground map of Jerusalem that shows 7 sealed chambers beneath the Temple Mount, each one connected to a ritual and to a specific name that must not be spoken. It's like Voldemort, you know? Yeah. The oldest rabbis, who are the guardians of the true name of God, they never speak these names in vain for a specific reason, of course. The vibration of that name opens a real crack in the sky. And that's exactly why the presidents of the United States, when taking office, make a symbolic gesture toward Israel. No, that's not diplomacy, that's a pact. And that's exactly why Donald Trump swore to support Israel and dropped the bomb there in Iran. The CIA files, especially those partially released in 1987 and 2003, indicate that since Eisenhower, there has been a group of agents specialized in supernatural phenomena located exclusively in Israeli territory. And the code name for this project? Watchers of the Gate, that is, the Guardians of the Gate. For Hebrew mystics, for example, especially the followers of Isaac and Luria, the world was created through divine contractions. They call it Zinzum. And this Zinzum left shells of Klippert, which are fragments of light trapped in dark matter. So the Temple Mount is considered the point where the most powerful rupture happened. It is there, among ancient gates and forgotten tunnels, that the largest trapped fragment is found. And world leaders know it by another name. Yes, I'm talking about it, the Metatron's box. This entity, that many think is an angel, is neither an angel nor a demon, but rather a dimensional guardian. And according to tradition, this being was also God's scribe, but also the jailer of the earthly portal. So this Metatron's box would be a spiritual technology left by civilizations before the flood, possibly also civilizations of non-human origin. The Midrash speaks of a black stone that floats between worlds. The Essenes called this object the silent Merkava, a chariot of light that only responds to the sound of the true name. And who holds this name after all? A name that cannot be spoken. The initiates, of course. They are leaders who have sworn loyalty to the mystery of Israel. Today, in the place where the Holy of Holies once stood, there is the Dome of the Rock, an Islamic mosque adorned with a golden dome. This mosque, by the way, is a place where several supernatural phenomena have already been filmed. And that's no coincidence, right, guys? Muslims, Christians, Jews, all of them recognize, even if secretly, that what is down there should not be disturbed. So, during secret excavations carried out by Israeli military archaeologists in the 1960s, the presence of an unmarked sarcophagus was recorded down there, made of black basalt. Confidential reports that were later leaked by WikiLeaks mention an inexplicable electromagnetic energy at the site. That people who come into contact with this energy experience loss of consciousness, and that an entity in the form of a luminous spiral floats above this stone. Now, the name of that operation that took place there in Israel in 60, that's right. Interestingly, it was called SOD 837. SOD, or Sod in Hebrew, means deep secret. And public Judaism, the one we know, is just a shell for what really exists there. Behind it, there are many dark layers of Hermetic knowledge that not even all rabbis have access to. I would say that most of them actually, you see, I'm talking about Lurianic Kabbalah, which is described in the lost books of Sefer Harazem from the instructions in the Book of Enoch, which were never included in the traditional Torah. The name of God with 72 letters, known as Shem HaMepharash, is used in secret rituals to invoke beings that do not belong to this dimension. That's exactly why we can't say that 72-letter name of God. Because it's believed that each letter corresponds to a seal, and that the correct combination is capable of releasing what's down there. It's capable of lighting up Metatron's cube. That cube there, the so-called Metatron's cube, according to scholars of sacred geometry, is the key to decoding interdimensional portals. And it's the only known artifact that's capable of stabilizing the open passage that exists between worlds. Global leaders swear to protect Israel because they know what's there. They know that what's there is a very fragile barrier between our world and something much older and much more intelligent than humanity. During World War II, Hitler himself sent archaeologists to Jerusalem with the goal of finding the dimensional canon described in the Gnostic texts of the Ophites. A weapon based on the vibration of sound and light that would be capable of breaking the seal of the Temple Mount. And the Allies knew about it. That's exactly why the State of Israel was created in 1948. And that was by no means just a political act. It was, in fact, a Hermetic agreement. A renewal of the Pact to keep this seal closed under the watch of those who possess this knowledge. Since then, all American presidents, popes, monarchs, and G20 leaders have been part of the Circle of Guardians. This circle doesn't have a headquarters, but it meets secretly in the ruins of Qumran, near the Dead Sea. This is actually the place where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found, or the Book of Enoch, if you want to call it by its official name. So Israel is not just a country. It is a spiritual mechanism, a magical seal, a reminder that this world here is absolutely nothing like it seems. And that's exactly why the leaders bow down. It's not out of mercy, it's not out of fear, it's not because Iran has nuclear threats, but it's because they know very well that the day the portal that exists there on the mountain is opened, there will be no alliance, nuclear bomb, or religion capable of closing it again. And deep down, these people, the elite of our planet, know that the seal that exists there is already cracking. And that's exactly why Israel, from time to time, goes to war. Because there are opposing forces that want to open what was sealed.